Hi.
Hi. Can you tell me how you like to pronounce your name? It's Sauna?
Summer, yeah.
Sauna. Okay, perfect. And I'm Mary.
I know.
And where do you live?
Um, you go right away in the first one. I always start with how do I say it? Both way introduction.
Okay.
So you know who you're talking with. My name, yeah, is Summer. I live in the Netherlands. To answer your question,
Wow.
I'm 27 years old. I do for work like building websites, logos, things like that. That's my pay job.
Hmm.
And what I do with this page is like my hobby. I watch verticals now for I think 2 years. And yeah, my fan page is since February of,
Nice.
of this year.
Nice. So you started watching verticals pretty much right as they started coming out. I mean, it hasn't been much longer than 2 years that they've been producing them. So you're like an OG fan.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I think my first vertical was in 2023. So I've been doing them for, yeah, about 2 years as well. Um, and thank God for them, right? What do you do for work?
I, I said that I build like websites
Oh,
for
yes, sorry.
clients, logos,
Very
flyers,
cool.
things like that.
Cool. I do something similar. I work for my family's small business and I make I didn't make their logo, but I do some marketing for them as well. I work a lot on Canva and I'll make like flyers for them and I work their social media as well. And I have my own jewelry business too. So I've been working like in building like an Etsy shop. I built their Etsy shop and I work in Shopify too. So yeah, we have some similar interests in that way.
Do you have that on your Instagram, your jewelry?
Hmm. I have it in my bio. It says it's called Fostering Flowers. So my last name is Foster, and I work primarily with preserving flowers in resin. So it was kind of like a COVID project because I wanted to leave food service. I didn't work at a place that I liked very much. So I started my Etsy shop in an effort to like financially support myself so that I could get back into acting, and I could feel I was my own boss. And I find that acting is also a bit of a small business. So I was like, this kind of translates well. I know how to run my own business as myself as the product. So I think that if I make something, I can market it successfully as well.
That's impressive.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't, it's, It's not something that I do too much anymore because I'm struggling to find the time. But yeah, it was definitely my life for a few years, especially before I moved to LA.
So, do you want to dive into my questions?
Yes, I would love to. You had such like so many amazing questions. Let's get it going.
Thank you. Yeah, the intro we just had. Can you share a fun fact about you? I think the Julie is something not a lot of people know.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think it's something that I advertise on my personal Instagram. I have a separate Instagram for it. Um, but Yeah, I always put it as my fun fact. Sometimes in self tapes when they have you introduce yourself and give a fun fact, I usually say that I like to make jewelry and that it's my small business. And I just wish there was like 48 hours in one day. I feel like I could get everything done if I could do 12 hours on set and then I could come home and I could make my jewelry. But unfortunately, there's just not so much time anymore. So it's not at the forefront of my life as acting is at the moment. Um, But I'm literally sitting at my desk right now. Like I have my orders here. I have like all of my materials that I need, my UV light, my resin. Like I literally have, look, I have a, because it's all flowers, so I have like a tray of like flowers
Oh my
here.
God.
So yeah, it was definitely a big part of my life. I think in the last year it's taken a bit of a back seat, but yeah, it's not really something that I talk about too much anymore. But I was very grateful for it for a long time.
Is that, if you don't want to answer this, that's totally fine. Is that because your acting did go like skyrocket?
Yeah, yeah, acting has really picked up in the last year, especially with verticals. You can work much more consistently. There's not a lot of time between projects. Um, so which I feel very blessed to have. But yeah, running a small business it's a full-time job. So like it's kind of like acting is a full-time job. Even when you're not on set, you're still working, you're still auditioning, you're meeting lovely people like yourself, you're taking time to network with people, you're researching different projects that you can be a part of and people that you want to meet, and it's all consuming. And running a small business, even if it's just my tiny little Etsy shop, is also all consuming. So yeah, because I don't have enough time to do both, acting has been my passion since I was literally a small child. So that's always going to take priority for me over anything else.
um, yeah, you. How did you start with acting?
I have always been acting. I've always been performing ever since I was born. My mom put me in voice lessons, ballet. I did improv as a child. I did always the school productions. I was in choir every year in high school. I was in my honors choir. I did regional choir. I did regional theater, community theater. So it just kind of, I come from a really artistic family. My dad is a jazz musician, and my mom, although she never worked professionally in the arts, is always has always been a big appreciator and lover of Broadway. She loves musicals. She loves to sing and dance.
Mm.
So I think she kind of, when I was born, she was like, I was a little bit like, she was living her dream a little bit vicariously through me, because as a kid, my mom's parents are immigrants, so it wasn't realistic for my mom to pursue a career in performance. They wanted my mother to go into business or law or medicine. That's much more of a safe, more lucrative job, although they are also very hard to do. So when I was born, I think my mom was like, well, I never got to do these things, so I'm going to give all of the things that I've always dreamed of to my daughter. And she just got lucky that I also loved it as well. And my father's been always very musical, so I grew up singing, and he tried to get me to learn how to play every instrument, which didn't stick, unfortunately. But it was just kind of the natural path for me, and I ended up getting my degree in it, and now I'm so blessed to work professionally in the field.
How did you learn about the vertical?
So I found verticals through Actors Access. I was just self-submitting and seeing what was out there, and trying to get as many auditions as possible just so I could start working. I moved to Los Angeles in 2021, right as like the quarantine restrictions started lifting and things started opening back up. I had an opportunity to come and live in a pretty affordable apartment here. So I was just trying to get my footing, I was trying to meet people and work and get my career going again. And I found the listings on Actors Access, and I remember being like, what is this? Like mafia baby daddy werewolf? Like I don't I don't understand. Um so I started submitting myself for background. So I was like, let me just get on set and see what the deal is. I don't know what this might turn out to be. Because they present themselves in a bit of a strange way, especially back in 2023 when they were so new. So yeah, I got into them doing background and day player until I realized that they are full of the best people, like-minded actors, like-minded creatives, wonderful directors, and just a space that I felt like I could grow in. So I've been so lucky that I started small and then had like a nice trajectory into this space.
What or who inspired you to go into acting?
My parents. My parents, yeah. They always pushed me into this space and motivated me to feel confident performing and on stage. And also I was always the kind of kid, like if I was at a sleepover, we're gonna make a dance and we're gonna show it to our parents, or we're gonna learn a Broadway hit song and we're gonna like do a little performance at like the neighborhood block party. So I've always had this natural kind of instinct to want to get up and perform. And I could have taken a lot of different routes because, like I said, my mom tried to get me into dance and I also sang for a really long time, but acting really stuck with me because I really love studying human behavior. And I really, for a while, was very interested in the psychology behind why people do the things that they do. And then mixing that interest of psychology and human behavior with performance, I was like, acting is just the natural um, interest for me. So. Yeah. And I love movies. Oh my God. I could watch a movie every single day. I love that medium of art. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie?
My favorite movie for a while was Pulp Fiction, which I know is potentially a little cliche, but I really love oh my gosh, now of course I'm blanking on his name. Quentin Tarantino. Uh when growing up, my favorite movie was Moulin Rouge. It was my mom
Yeah.
and my favorite movie. And it's not my favorite musical, but the movie itself, I really love Nicole Kidman. I've always loved Nicole Kidman. So that was something that my mom and I could bond over and watch together. My favorite movie that I've seen recently is Weapons. I don't know if you like horror movies, but
Yeah.
I love the horror genre. Yeah, you do? What's your favorite horror movie?
Of course. Mm, ooh, that's a hard one. I like so many things.
What's your favorite movie in general?
Mm,
Non-vertical.
I have a lot of favorite shows.
What are you watching right now?
Rewatching for I think like the millionth time. But like Vampire Diaries, original,
Nice.
Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl,
Love it.
Summer
All the
Against
comfort gems.
Pretty.
Do you ever watch True Blood? I really
Yeah,
loved the True Blood vampire movie or the show. Yeah,
also
so good.
I really love
Sorry, I'm
vampires.
adjusting my lighting.
Oh no, that's
Not sure.
totally
I think that's
okay. I'm also adjusting sometimes. I think you can see sometimes that I move closer to the screen.
no worries.
Which of your characters did you feel the most connected with, and why?
Definitely both best friend roles that I played for Candy Jar in Not All About You and the Glow Up Game. I felt like the best friend role is definitely something that I gravitate towards because it is me. It's who I am genuinely. I'm your peppy, quirky, peppy kind of like best friend. So, and I love that I could involve so much comedy into it where I am in control of the laugh, if that makes sense. Instead of in my villain roles, I feel like I kind of twist the comedy so that I am the butt of the joke. Whereas in these roles, we're all in on the joke together. Like I'm making light of like a circumstance and I'm joking around with like my best friend, girlfriend, and that kind of playfulness is something that like I really love, and I feel like it's my pocket. So I think that I could connect and resonate with those characters the most because they come from the most genuine place. But I will say that I did do a villain in Vertical that came out last month, I think, or it was early this month. It was the badass plumber girl is the heiress with Kara Wisely and Mark Pontarelli, and I did more of like a Jersey accent in that one, and
Yeah.
I'm from New Jersey, so that was a really fun uh little aspect that I could add to the character that was pulling from my background and my home. So
Yeah, I love that one.
yeah, really fun, really wild, lots of slapping. So much slapping.
The next is also, by the way, if you want to know something more about me, you can always
Yes, I
ask
do.
that.
What did you say?
That you can always ask it if you want to know more stuff about me too.
Oh, yes, definitely. I wanna know everything about you. If you have thoughts, like, we can talk too. We can just, like, yap. So, if you have some thoughts, let me know. I wanna know what you're thinking.
I think a lot. I don't know if you always want to know what I'm thinking.
Oh, no. That's so funny. What is your favorite role in, a Vertical? Do you mainly like the comedic relief? Do you like the villains? Are you more of like a leading lady, leading man? Like what character is normally your favorite and you feel the most connected to when you watch?
Oof. Hmm. It depends a lot on the story.
Mhm.
Uh, I like a lot of villains that Sarah has done. Sarah Milisky.
Mhm.
I like, of course, a lot of the good girls too.
Mhm. But it depends on the storyline and the actress or the
Yeah.
actor, the person who's embodying the role. Yeah, that makes sense.
You have me pretty quickly if I can believe a story.
Mhm.
Then I like it pretty quickly.
So you think that like a story that could realistically happen is something that you connect more with.
Yeah.
Right. That can be a stretch sometimes in verticals. I think that there's some pretty unrealistic stuff, but sometimes they're not. I mean, speaking of Candy Jar, the two that I did are totally realistic love stories. Um, whereas other ones that I did are that that I've seen are a bit of a stretch plot
Yeah.
wise.
But
Yeah.
some parts, for example, when a character loses a father figure, or
Mhm.
that I can relate to a lot because that's happened to me.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's almost 7 years now. So, um, yeah, with the male characters, I don't have that as much.
Right. So the women generally you relate more to.
Yeah, and also because I watch mostly because of the women.
Yeah. Good. Me too.
There are here and there some male actors that I really like, but not as much as female.
Right. Yeah, I understand. I'm the same way. I'm a girl's girl, so I'm always going to be rooting for the woman, relating to the woman for sure. And yeah, I worked with some fabulous, very talented male actors who are also my friends, but yeah, I'm always interested in the female storyline
Same.
and who's lifting her up, who's advocating for her, you know. I think it's important in the vertical space for
Yeah.
sure.
If you have to recommend a vertical, one with you and one without you, which one would you recommend?
Um, so actually, I just had a vertical come out today. It's called Taming the Football Bad Boy on
Oh
Drama
yeah,
Box.
with Erin.
And Tyler,
Yeah.
and directed by Gabriel Cast, very talented director. I had the pleasure of working with him again on another vertical that will come out, I think, next month. But yeah, I'm gonna shout that one out. Absolutely loved that entire experience, and I really liked that villain as well because I felt like she was really grounded in something real. I could relate to the things that she was upset about. I don't think that she behaved in the best way, obviously, but I felt her to be very grounded and rooted in something real and painful. So um, I was very blessed to be a part of that project. And one that I'm not in. Well, okay, so my friend, her name is Rebecca Del Sesto. She actually cast Taming the Football Bad Boy. She, I really love her performances. She hasn't had a lead in a vertical, but she was in this vertical called Sadness Knows No Boundaries on Real Short. I don't know if you've seen it, but she plays the nurse,
Yeah.
and she plays the nurse, and I just really admire her ability to make us maybe a smaller character a very powerful performance. I really like that whole story in general, but you know, she posted some of her clips of her playing the nurse, and I just thought that they were so beautifully done, and I really loved her performance a lot. And yeah, she's definitely up and coming in the vertical space as a casting director and then also as an actor. So I just got to shout out my best friend. You know, I'm here for the girls, I'm here for the besties. And everyone go watch Sadness Knows No Boundaries on Real Short and check out Rebecca Del Sesto's performance.
I have seen that one, so I know who you're talking about.
Hmm.
It's also with two of my favorite people, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What is your favorite app you find? Like, what is your favorite app that you watch, that you have the most verticals that you like on?
It was for a really long time real short,
Mm-hmm.
because my Instagram page was first a different name. It was first real short fan.
Nice. Okay, so that's the answer, obviously.
But it isn't anymore. It's not
What is it now?
Figlu.
Viglu. Yeah, Viglu has some really great stuff. I've only done one for Viglu. It was Falling for My Incognito CEO
Mm-hmm.
with Fabian and Tiffany Alvord. And Mark Pontrelli was also, I worked with Mark a few times and Tiffany, and we were the antagonist duo. That one was so fun. And a very original storyline. I felt like I hadn't seen a lot of storylines like that, and or any storyline like that actually. It was like CEO billionaire meets kind of like Superman
Oh yeah, yeah,
with the disguise, the glasses disguise. But yeah, I hear Viglu has a lot of great fans because of their original storylines.
yeah. That is what drove me that way.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What is something you like to do in your free time?
Well, I have my small business. I really love the outdoors. I love hiking. I just love going outside, being on a walk. I love a farmer's market. Makes me really happy to be around a lot of different people. So I like hanging out with my friends, going out. LA, there's so many things to do. I love yoga. I'm a huge, huge yoga addict. I go to Core Power Yoga here in Pasadena, and I try to go as often as I can because I find that exercise really helps my mental health,
Mhm.
keeps me motivated. It's even after a long day, I really just love to have that kind of like physical exertion. It's really good for your dopamine, makes you happier. So I'm a big advocate for exercise and getting outside and watching movies. What about you? What do you like to do in your free time other than watch
Um,
verticals?
and other than busy with my page.
Yeah, you're very busy with your page.
Yeah,
You're great. You're so consistent.
thank you. I do my best. What I do, yeah, shopping with friends. I like to watch a lot of series.
Hmm.
Like I just said, love to go to different countries with my best friends. I'm actually going on a trip next week, so
Where are you gonna go?
to Belgium.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, my family used to live in Brussels.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm going
Yeah,
to
so I
Antwerp.
very cool.
So I think things like that. I love cooking.
I wish I liked cooking more. I really do, because I love eating, but I don't love cooking. I wish I did, and sometimes I do. If I have like a lot of time, I can like pour myself a glass of wine and put on some music and like follow a recipe. But God, it just seems like such a task these days. So I wish I was more creative when it came to cooking.
Yeah, I am learning to cook more recipes.
What's your favorite dish right now to cook?
Pasta.
Nice. Nice.
I'm a big pasta lover.
Me too. I love ravioli.
Yeah, that is great. How do you prepare for wolves?
So before I go on set, it's mostly book work, right? Like I have to learn my lines and I have to prepare all of the factual information about my character. Who am I? What's my job? Who is my, let's say, what are my relationships? Who's my mother, father, sister, brother, friend, romantic interest? All of these things are in the script. They cannot be denied. And it helps build, an overall idea of who I am. I pretty much just do that before I go on set. I do all of the logistical book work around my character. And I go in without any idea of maybe some idea of how I want to perform the character, but when I'm on set, I pretty much use all of the energy from my cast members, the environment on set, within the scene. I just like to play off of other people. So, sure, if I'm a villain, I know I'm gonna have to go in and, be a little sassy. There's a difference between my performance as a villain, as my performance as a best friend, my performance as like a leading lady. So I cultivate that energy, but when I go on set, I find that the most organic performances are going to be found through just playing off of my scene partner, playing off of the energy of the space. Being as authentic as I can be within the imaginary circumstances of the scene. So yeah, that's pretty much my preparation is pretty like studious, and then when I go in, that's when all the play can come, and that's when all the instincts can kick in.
Do you always stick to the scripts, or do you make changes?
I always learn my lines word for word. Because you never know what is going to be asked of you on set. I mean, some directors really like to have a little bit of improv. You can kind of put in your own words. Some directors really like exact word for word. So I always like to go in knowing word for word and just be prepared in that sense. And then you can kind of feel out the vibe, you know? Some people like when you add your own little twist on things, and so if I'm able to, I love to do that. I really love improv. I love a little like quippy cap at the end of the scene, like adding like a little like footnote thing. Just for like I think it adds some like comedic effect. Or if I'm really having a good energy with my scene partner, I like to kind of play, like I said, play off of their energy and see what we can create together. And as long as the bulk of my lines are there word for word, you know, they can, if they don't like it, they can cut around it. But I think that some of the most magical moments come from just like playfulness and genuine connection in the moment. So
Yeah.
so I do a little bit of both. It's really what's appropriate in the moment.
Have you ever thought when a show came out, want to do a retake?
A retake. I think the only one that I can think of is I had an intimacy scene in one of my first like reoccurring roles. I had a supporting villain. Lawson Lawson Greyson was playing my best friend. She was the main female antagonist. But I had an intimacy scene where everything went fine on set. I felt very comfortable. But then when it came out, I was like, you know, I wish that I had another opportunity. I didn't love the way that my body looked in the moment, and I think you can kind of I didn't look uncomfortable, but I just think that because I didn't feel uncomfortable, I felt totally fine, but I was a little bit new to intimacy scenes, especially in the vertical space, so I wasn't sure kind of like where the camera was starting and stopping. It was like my first time doing intimacy in a vertical, so I would have liked another seeing the framing and seeing the finished product, I would have liked to go back and kind of readjust my body and make some different choices. But for the most part, you know, verticals are shot so fast. Sometimes, especially as the antagonist, and there's so much to do in a day, you only get one or two takes. You're lucky if you get two or like three takes of the same thing, unless there's like something logistically wrong. You'll get that opportunity, but you know, things move really quickly. So with the pressure and the speed to produce as much to get through as much as possible in that time frame, I've been pretty proud of what I've been able to come out with, or what I've been able to showcase. But yeah, that one was a little strange. I would have liked another moment with that.
I can understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, now comes my favorite question.
Uh-oh.
If you could give your younger self advice, what would it be?
I spent a lot of time I wasted a lot of time being scared of my own potential. I wasted a lot of time with imposter syndrome, not thinking that I was worth being in the space, not thinking that anybody would care or that there was room for me. I was just scared, and I had so much training and all of the tools that I needed to start sooner and be more aggressive sooner, and I just was so worried about what other people thought of me that it really held me back for a long time. So if I was to give my younger self advice, it would just be to say, just fucking do it, you know? Just
Yeah.
do it. Just go for it. Be aggressive. Stop caring what other people think. Just do whatever you want. Do what makes you happy. Don't ask too many questions. Just be more intense and advocate for yourself and know your worth. So I would definitely give myself a little bit of a pep talk to snap myself out of the fear. I was very tentative. I was very hesitant at first to um to believe in myself. So I finally got there, I think, but I wish that I had done it sooner. I wish I hadn't been so afraid for so long.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like imposter syndrome really holds people back. The fear of there's a quote, oh, I'm gonna butcher it because I don't know it verbatim, but I think it's something like we don't fear uh the unknown, or we don't fear what's out there, we fear our own potential, we fear our own success. And I'm totally butchering it. There's a better there's an actual quote that I am missaying, but I relate to it in that for a long time I feared my own potential, and I feared what could happen, and it's just imposter syndrome. It's just not believing that there's room for you, and there is.
Yeah,
There's room for everybody in every space. If you make room for yourself. If you make room for yourself.
that's
Yeah.
totally true. What is one of your most memorable moments on a vertical set?
Oh my god. How do I pick?
I
How
don't
do I pick? I mean, okay, so going back to like one of my very first villain leads, that was in Spoiled by Four Billionaires, so Drama Box One. I mean that was we had like a full out like food fight in the opening scene. So um there was like cake everywhere. I got a bottle of wine dumped on my head. I splashed Kirby Elwood in the face with a glass of wine, and then she came and dumped a whole bottle on me. She's throwing cake at everyone. Like that was disgusting. I had like my mascara was running down my face from wine. I was sticky. I was so sticky. There was icing everywhere. Oh my god, that was disgusting. But then more recently, like I think about the vertical that just came out today, Taming the Football Bad Boy. That um and I was just looking at pictures because I was making a post to promote the series. But there was our last day on set, we were on a football field in Westlake, and we at lunch everybody just started like it was like recess time, like everyone started throwing the football around. There were people playing soccer. I was like running around the field. I'm like the least athletic person on this planet, and even I was having fun, like just like having like rec time with everyone. And the lunch felt like it was so long, and all of us were just like throwing around a football and playing. Like everybody, I was like throwing around a football with the first AD, and then Aaron and Tyler were throwing around with us. Kevin, who's one of the camera ops, was tossing around a football. It was so fun. It was just like very different in the sense like I wasn't getting wine dumped on my head, and we weren't even shooting anything. This was during lunch, but oh my god, I just had the best day. It was like the best day on set. It was so fun. Um yeah, I could go on and on. There's so many. I mean, those are two off the top of my head, but I just have the best time. I meet the best people, and those friendships are very valuable to me. So the time on set is always very valuable to me.
Yeah, I love when you post those little behind the scene photos.
Yeah, I have one. I have one ready to go. I finished my auditions today at 10, and I knew that I had an hour before our chat, so I was putting together my post for Taming the Football Bad Boy. So when we're finished, I'm gonna post it. And there's some fun. I took a lot of videos, so there's some fun little BTS videos in there.
Ooh, gonna watch it then when you post it.
Well, thank you.
Especially, I think I said this when you posted that photo of Lawson. You posted one
Yeah.
photo of Lawson where she did a little.
Was she like this?
Yeah.
She kept doing that. She kept going around and taking pictures of everybody. Like she was like putting the camera like up here, so you looked like you look like a bug. Like you looked really strange. So then I started retaliating and then doing it to her every moment I got. I was like, hey Lawson, bam, bam, bam. She's so fun. She was like, we were fast friends when I worked with her like last summer. So getting to work with her again and her be the lead and then me be the villain. So we had that kind of like playtime together was really, really fun. She's so silly. I love her.
Shout out to Lawson if she sees this.
Yes, shout out Lawson. Love you.
She probably will, especially if I'm gonna tag her.
I told her that we were going to have a chat because I know we've had to reschedule a few times. So I mentioned it to her when we were on set a couple weeks ago, and she had only amazing things to say about you. She said you were the sweetest. It was the best time with her interview with you, and that you guys were really good friends. So,
Yeah.
so I trust Lawson. So she said it was going to be a good time. She's like, okay, great. I'm definitely gonna have an interview with her.
That makes me happy that she still feels like that.
Yeah. Well, she's the best. So
Yeah, and my one with her is like months ago.
yeah, but she remembered. She said it was awesome.
uh, that makes me happy.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I have the next is like a two-part question. It's basically
Okay.
a little bit the same. What is the best career advice you ever got? That's the first one. Do you want to know the second
Okay. So
one?
one at a time. Yeah. 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 I'll answer that one first. Best career advice.
Don't make it
Can I be
easy
honest?
for you.
I don't know that I've gotten a ton of career advice. If anyone has some career advice for me, put it in the comments because I would love any advice that you could give. I remember when I was little, I went with my voice teacher invited me to go see a Broadway singer perform. I can't remember his name. This was so long ago. But my voice teacher introduced me to him after the show and said Mary's an aspiring actress. She wants to be on Broadway. She wants to be in movies. Blah blah blah. I think I was like 8. I was so little, and I'll never forget because this guy scared the crap out of me because he got really intense and he looked at me and he said, "Do not pursue this career unless you are willing to sacrifice so much for it." And that scared me. I was when I went home I was crying in the car because it freaked me out cuz you see this thing as like fun and flashy. I get to sing and dance. But now that I'm approaching 30 and I have done this for a while now, I see exactly what he was talking about. I have sacrificed so much to do this. And I think that if anybody is watching and wanting to pursue this career, go for it. It is the most fulfilling thing you will ever do, but it will also require a lot of you. I live across the country from my parents so that I can do this. I spend every waking moment that I can trying to book another job. When is my next paycheck coming in? I'm auditioning all the time. I literally, sorry, this is my bedroom. I have my like audition set up, taking up half of my room constantly. Um, it is all encompassing, and I think it was fabulous advice that he said that to me at a young age so that it would sink in that early on.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't listen to him, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I want. But he was right. He was definitely right. But if anyone has any more advice for me, I'm open. Just let me know. What am I doing wrong?
You're not doing anything wrong. The
You're sweet. Thank you.
the second part of this question, you kind of got into it. That is, what would you advise somebody who wants to be an actor?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would advise. I would say it's a full-time job, and if you are willing to do that, if you're willing to take that on, then this is definitely a career path for you, but it requires all of you. And some days are the you'll have some of the best days of your life, and then you'll have some days that are really hard where you're questioning, is this the right space for me? So if you're open to that emotional roller coaster, could be for you, but tread lightly, I would say, before you commit. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, next is kinda um the next two are a little bit of the same question. What is on your bucket list slash what is something you hope to achieve in your future?
Oh, in terms of the vertical space, I would love to play a lead. I would love a leading role. That's definitely a goal of mine, something that I've been trying really hard to achieve. Um, I would love to take on that challenge and just be presented with a different type of role in this industry. Not that I don't love playing the villain, playing the best friend. I have found so much joy in doing that, and I have found so much about myself in those roles. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to for my future. I'm going to manifest it. Um, and I want to achieve everything. I want to do everything. I'm a yes person. So there's really not much that I don't want in my future. I've always said that my dream role would be on a sitcom. I would love to be on like a classic sitcom like Friends or New Girl or Big Bang
Yeah.
Theory, something like that. I think that that would be a really good fit for me. Acting wise. And so, yeah, that's like dreaming big. So we'll manifest that too. But in terms of achieving things, I think that there's a long, endless list of things that I am still hoping to accomplish. So we'll see where the path takes me.
No, I will manifest with you that you will do a lead role.
Yay! Thank you.
I do that
I
with
hope
a
so.
lot of the girls. Like Sydney, I don't know if you know her, Sydney.
What is her last name?
Of course. Now I need to say it
Oh no,
right.
that's okay.
Cool,
Potentially,
but
I it,
cool. She plays a lot of villains too.
okay. I don't think I've met her, but I'm sure she's fabulous.
Yeah, she's now doing a lead role. Woohoo.
Nice. Yay! Good for her.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her.
Oh, but I don't know if I sent this question to you. But what motivates you on a hard day?
I think exercise. Exercise definitely gets me out of a funk. If I'm having a hard day and I need to snap out of it quickly, I'll go do hot yoga. I'll go on a run. I'll go lift some weights for an hour. I just feel like getting that like physical exertion, it's the best form of therapy for me. Real therapy is also very helpful, but if I just need like a quick fix to motivate me, I'm going to go to an hour yoga class. I'm going to go spin. I just feel like that gets me out of my brain funk. I can just turn
Yeah,
off for an hour and just like put all of that energy into something else. And then when I always leave feeling better, I always leave feeling happier.
yeah, I have that too. I work out a lot.
Yeah. What do you do normally?
You mean for my workouts?
Yeah, for your workout. Do you like yoga, running, lifting weights,
Uh,
spinning?
running, and I have like a whole bunch of practices that I need to do for my trainer said that. So yeah, I
Nice.
have a trainer that helps me.
That's awesome. I'm jealous. I would love to have a trainer. That's why I like classes, because then I can just go in and I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to plan anything. They just tell me what to do and then I leave and I'm like, "Yay, I'm stronger."
Yeah,
Physically and mentally.
yeah, it is like 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 more questions.
Okay.
If you could have any superpowers, which one would you?
Okay. I've always said that I want to fly. Always. My entire life I've wanted to fly. But now living in LA, teleportation.
Yeah,
I just want to teleport everywhere. I don't want to drive anymore. The traffic is so bad and I am miserable when I have to when I'm driving like 10 miles and it takes me an hour. Oh my god, just I just want to like bing teleport, bing appear. So definitely that. I think flying would also make that problem alleviate that problem as well, but I don't even want to do it. I just want to zap there.
this and you're on your destination.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, is there any countries you love to visit that you haven't already been?
Yes, I've traveled a lot of Europe before and the UK. So my next like dream destination to travel to would be somewhere in Asia. I would love to go particularly to Japan. Uh I think that that would be gorgeous. I think the country is beautiful, but I also think it's full of a culture that's very different to the one here in America. So that would just be an incredible experience. I would love to try the food and go shopping and then do some incredible nature sightseeing and um go see a movie there. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anywhere in Asia, I think is my next goal.
I love that.
Have you been?
No, that is,
Yeah, because you're in the Netherlands, I'm sure Europe is a lot easier to travel around.
yeah, pretty easily. You're in I think 2 till 4 hours, like in Spain, Italy, Greece,
Hmm.
France.
Oh my God, I would love to go to Greece. Oh my God, I've never been. I would love to go to Greece. That would be so amazing. Uh, yeah, I studied abroad in London for 6 months when I was in college. So I lived in London in a town called Twickenham, and then I got to go to Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and then in Europe I got to go to Italy. I've been to Italy a few times. Um, Belgium, France, and then I went to Spain for a little while as well. So there's still a lot more in I would love to go to the Netherlands. I would love to go to Switzerland too. There's so much traveling that I would love to do. I feel like if I won the lottery, that is what I would spend a lot of my money on is traveling the world. Um I wouldn't be so like stuck in one place. I would try to live my life in a lot of different places.
That's exactly what I would want to, like traveling all around.
Yeah, we can be travel buddies.
Yeah. What is something people can wake you up with in the middle of the night?
Definitely food. I think like an amazing quesadilla
Ooh,
would get me up.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's saying something because I'm a sleepy girl. I love my 8 hours, you know?
yeah.
But yeah, my favorite food right now is a quesadilla. Or if you have like a fresh, hot New York style pizza, I'm
Oh my
up.
gosh.
I'm up. We're eating.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, I love pizza.
Me too. pizza and pasta. It's for me.
Yep. Me too. Carbs, baby.
What is something you want to see more in verticals?
I would love to see more horror in
Yeah.
verticals. I've been every set I go on, I'm always like talking about how I want to be. My dream is to be in a horror vertical. Uh I would love to see that trope become a little bit more mainstream. I think that there's a market for it, and I think that it would be really fun. It could be campy, it could be gory. I think that you can still have, all of your classic roles, like the main lead, female lead, male lead, the villain, like antagonist, and then you can have regular human antagonists, and then you can also have like demon antagonists. So I think that there's a lot to play with in that space. I'm a huge Ari Aster fan. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. I love thriller, anything thriller, horror, suspense. It's a love of mine. So I think that would be really fun to introduce to the space for sure.
I want to make a comment that's a little funny. I think you're my
Say it.
girl because I love horror so much.
Oh my God, me too. Me too. And I just think it would be really fun. Like verticals at the end of an episode, there's always a cliffhanger. They
Yeah,
always leave you in suspense. So it would be perfect. Every episode you could be left on a huge cliffhanger. Like, are they literally gonna die? Like, is someone with a chainsaw gonna come in and chop their head off?
yeah,
I just think it could be so exciting. I think there's a lot of a play in that space, and I think someone needs to start writing and producing horror
yeah.
verticals. Yeah.
I agree totally.
Yeah, we already have a viewer. We already have somebody who wants to watch them. We got two. We got me and you. We got two people who are down to watch them.
Yeah, or me. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a writer.
Oh wow, no, I didn't. Have you written verticals, or do you write
I have
like traditional screenplays as well?
I have my own book that I
Wow,
wrote
nice.
when I when I was 10 years old.
No way. That's so impressive. What is it called?
It has a Dutch title, but in English it means from some suitcase, and
Nice. What's the story?
those are like little stories about the things that I went through as a kid.
Gotcha.
So like my deepest feelings and thoughts and things like that.
Nice. Is it kind of like a memoir
Yeah,
a little bit?
you can see
Nice.
it like that.
What's it called? What's it called again? Something in the suitcase?
Yeah, you have from Sommers, so my name,
Oh, from
suitcase.
Sauna's suitcase. I see. Yeah. Sorry, you cut out. I only heard suitcase.
Oh,
From Sauna's suitcase.
yeah,
Can I buy it
yeah.
on Amazon?
No, I can send you
Oh,
a
okay.
link if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Send me the link. I would love to buy it and read it and support you and find out more about you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, girl, of course.
And I'm also writing like a new book at the moment, and I'm working on maybe writing a vertical script.
Nice. Write a horror. Just kidding.
No, it is a horror that I'm writing.
Nice. Cool. I would love to read that too.
Yeah, I can send it to you if you want.
Yeah, please send me both. Send me the link to Sauna's suitcase and then the vertical.
Of course,
I'd love to read that.
I would do that. Where did I was with my questions? Yeah. What do you think people underestimate about the vertical space?
I think, and I say this like people who are underestimating would be like people that have never watched one
Mhm.
before, who are very new to it. I think that they would underestimate the performances. I think that there's a lot of misconception about the artistry that goes into the vertical space. I think because they're made so quickly, they can come off as a little bit, um, the way that they're presented can be a little bit not as, I guess, what's the word, polished as,
Mhm.
if you're gonna go see a movie in like a cinema. But I think that they are I don't think I know that they're hiring performers and then also creators in general who have a ton of artistic integrity, who are very creative, who are making a lot of waves in the space. And I think a lot of the artistic integrity across the board can be underestimated. I think that people really bring their all to these. I think that the people on set are very professional and take it very seriously, and want to present the best that they can, in the crazy circumstance that we're given, the short amount of time, the insane workload, um, the insane circumstances that you're given as an actor. But everybody works their ass off to make it the best that they can present. So I just know some really, really talented people who work in this space, and I don't want their craft to be underestimated because people really show up to these prepared and wanting to showcase their best work.
Yeah. And don't forget yourself.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's your question about doing retakes is valid. Like, do you ever see something and want to do a retake? I mean, yeah, I guess I see some things and I'm like, that's not totally perfect, but it's because we're shooting it so fast. You don't have a ton of time. You have one or two chances to get it right, but everybody shows up wanting to get it right immediately. So that's why you can kind of do it in one or two takes, because you're hiring people who are really, really um talented and are able to make that work. So I'm thoroughly impressed by so many people that I've worked with. I've been really blessed to work with some incredible people. So and they are deserving of all of the praise and all of the recognition that they're getting. So I hope that continues.
Yeah, it will. I think it will only get better from here. Or not.
Yeah, I
But
think so too.
then I had one more question, and that was, what would you create if it's completely up to you? But you already kind of said horror. Horror.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. I feel very passionately about it. Clearly.
And then the last one, I always end with it, and that is, if you want to say something to the viewers who are watching your work, the viewers of our talk, or me.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me on, reaching out, wanting to chat, for all of these incredible questions, letting me talk about myself for over an hour. No one will ever listen to me talk about myself for over an hour except for you. So I appreciate you giving me the platform to talk
Sure.
about, my work and my past, and my future aspirations. So that is priceless to me, and I feel endlessly grateful for this opportunity. And if you're watching any of my work, thank you. I want to tell you that I'm not a bad person in real life. I swear. I'm just
No, yeah.
trying to be the best at playing very bad people, but I'm nothing like that. Um, and thank you for supporting the work of very incredibly inspiring people who work so hard. And yeah, I can't say more than just thank you. I'm so appreciative. It blows my mind that I am even in a space where people are interested in getting to know me, and that I get to make money doing what I love, and that I get to go on set and play all day and mess around and like throw a football and have bottles of wine dumped on my head, and it's exhausting work, but it's so fulfilling, and I would never choose to do anything else. So thank you for watching and supporting me and helping me continue to live my dream. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
So that was everything already.
Yay. You have some fabulous questions. Thank you. You cover so much in such a short amount of time. And you're really thoughtful and very sweet and easy to talk to. So this was such a lovely experience. I'm sorry it took so long for us to get here.
You're totally fine. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yes, Sana, you too. It was so nice to talk to you. I hope let's stay in touch on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. And
All right. Have a good one.
you too.